Hello. I want to get on here and talk about something I've talked about before in many other videos, but I'm just gonna make this a standalone video about domestic abuse and victims of domestic abuse. The reason why is because it really gets me boiling inside when Foodie Beauty um, brings up her abuser, her alleged abuse, and you see that she was abused was brought up a few years ago when she started hooking up with hooking up and using um, with Natter. I think this was like in 2021. Yeah, she would come home with all these bruises, but it was now he did put hands on her during when they were having sex. That's where so there was a certain level of abuse, definitely, definitely. That was like when he was like manhandling her during sex. That's when it was. So I don't condone that. So he is definitely he has issues. He has problems. Um, but later on, as the months went by, um, or in 2022, she was more talking about her abuser, her abuser, because they weren't together. I mean, they weren't never together as a couple. The only reason why he ever did say yes to that was so she could be an alibi for the May situation. That's a whole entire different, thing I don't want to talk about. But anyways, okay, here's what I want to talk about. A true victim of domestic abuse will not get on video and talk about it whatsoever, won't even refer to it. That's not, I mean, walls come up. There's a certain level of protection, that they have. And they won't even talk about it in therapy, if they ever get therapy. But I will say this, and this is very important for you to understand. This victim will talk about their abuse behind closed doors with another domestic abuse victim. Fact. And it's the same thing with veterans who, went to war, shot and killed people, saw people shot and killed. Like at that time, it didn't really affect them until later on. And that's where the PTSD comes in extreme. The same thing with domestic abuse, Veterans will talk to other veterans only. That's their therapy. It's not easy to talk to a therapist. It's not. So for Foodie Beauty to come on here and talk about my abuser, my abuser, my abuser, remember, she lived hours away. Whether he lived in the trap house, which was 2 hours, or when he moved to another part of Montreal, which is 4 hours. She had no problem getting in that car, driving, stopping at McDonald's on the way and like giggling and talking and like, whatever it is. So she chased him every time. Every time. He never got in a car and, drove to her. She drove to him. You have to keep that in mind. They didn't live together. He didn't force her to stay, even though she had claimed that he had hit her car. He hit her keys a couple of times, but no. So understand the bullshit that comes out of her, Anyways, that's it for now. Thank you for watching this if you made it. So please take care. And any plans for Thanksgiving?